Let's talk about messages of safety today. So sometimes we get the question or the comment, I'm using messages of safety, but it's not working or it's not helping. And what people mean by that, and I've been there myself, they're using the messages of safety and the sensations they're using them for are not shifting, not going away. So a few tips here. Messages of safety are used, as the name implies, to make the brain feel safe, to teach your brain that, hey, this sensation, whether physical or emotional, is not dangerous, right? Because it's the limbic part of the brain that creates sensations. And then we use the conscious part of the brain, the prefrontal cortex, to calm down the limbic part of the brain. And messages of safety is one way to do that. There are other tools. So some tips, again, we're not going into it using messages of safety to make the sensation go away. I know that sounds crazy, but you're using them to make your brain feel safe. And when the brain feels safe, there's no reason to create sensations. So look at, how are you going into it? What's my intention going into using these messages of safety? And if you're going into it with the intention of making the sensation shift, that probably creates some pressure on your brain. And pressure is fear, right? And that is just going to create more sensations. So you don't want to do that. The next thing to look at is, what do I believe about these sensations? Do I truly believe that these are just created by the brain? Or do I maybe believe there's something structurally wrong still? And if you do, that's okay, right? We don't, just a reminder, we don't go into condemnation. Lots of self-compassion for you here. If you figure out, look, I still think that this sensation is from maybe sitting, or this sensation is from the food I ate, then start addressing that. Start working on that through education, reading testimonies, an evidence sheet. If you don't know what that is, leave us a message and we can explain that, just comment. But so you start using the messages of safety, even if you don't fully believe yet, while you keep educating yourself, while you keep working on overcoming that doubt, right? It all works together. And I promise it will all come together in the end. And then eventually, right, if you've gotten to the point maybe where you're mostly sensation free, or you've conquered one sensation, if that sensation tries to come back, then often the messages of safety will work immediately and that sensation will stop, right? But again, don't put pressure on yourself to make that work. You're not making it work. You're using messages of safety to communicate to the limbic part of your brain that you are safe, and eventually the sensations will stop. I hope this is helpful. If you have questions, leave us a comment.